Propel Fitness Water. With Gatorade electrolytes, zero sugar, and vitamins, Propel hydrates better than water to help you get the most out of your workout and get back to your best self. What propels you? Propel with Gatorade electrolytes.
This episode is brought to you by State Farm. Listening to this podcast instead of doom scrolling? Smart move. Another smart move? Getting help from one of State Farm's 19,000 local agents when you choose to bundle home and auto. Bundling, just another way to save with the Personal Price Plan. Prices are based on rating plans that vary by state. Coverage options are selected by the customer. Availability, amount of discounts and savings, and eligibility vary by state.
This episode is brought to you by Google Chrome. You think you know a browser, but Gemini and Chrome? That's new. It can help you with practically anything on the web, like restoring a vintage motorcycle from a 50-page restoration blog, or finally break down that long article you've had open for weeks. Gemini and Chrome is here for it. Ready to make anything online make sense? There's no place like Chrome. Check responses, setup required, compatibility and availability varies, 18+.
From the Fifth Quarter Studios in Madison, Wisconsin, you're listening to Coach Unplugged. And now, your host, Steve Collins.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to Coach Unplugged. I'm so happy you decided to join us. Before we jump in, I don't do this every week, but I would love if you went over, left a review, left a comment. I listen to all of those. Give me some topics. Send over to Steve at teachhoops.com. What kind of topics do you want to hear? But before we jump into today's topic, I'd like to give a big shout out to our two sponsors. First of all, Dr. Dish, the number one shooting machine on the market. I've tried them all, and this is not only how innovative are, but the workouts and what I love about Dr. Dish is they give back to the community. If you follow them on Facebook, if you follow them on Twitter, they're always giving back to the basketball community. And you mentioned Coach Unplugged, they'll give you $450 off. Also, go over and check out teachhoops.com for coaches who want to get better. It is a one-stop shop for basketball coaches. It's resources, it's handouts, it's videos, it's one-on-one calls, it's office hours. It's a coach. It's a resource run by a coach for a coach. It's not an ex-coach, not someone that's been let go, not someone that's coaching part-time. This is what I do. And Teach Hoops helps me keep the bills on. It helps me put up these podcasts, 13 podcasts a week. Teach Hoops helps me be able to do that. And it's a roadmap for you to be successful. And let me help you in this great journey that we call coaching. But let's head off to the podcast.
Today, we're going to talk about 10 ways. Let's see if I can do this. 10 ways to beat a zone defense. I'm not going to talk specific zone or zone offenses at this point. That would be good for office hours, or I can definitely send people, or maybe that's a subset of this one. But what I'm going to do is kind of give you some general things that I have found have been successful. There's been research on defensive systems. USA basketball has kind of a generic thing of beating three ways of kind of beating a zone defense. I'm gonna go through these. I'm gonna tell you the key. Get your guys shooting. Get your gals shooting. Shooting can definitely take care of a lot of ills and can take care of a lot of zone pressure and a lot of especially sagging zones. But I'm going to go through what I think are the 10 ways to beat a zone defense. Things you should incorporate in no matter what zone offense you work on. These 10 things should somewhere be kind of ingrained. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to download that. I'm going to pull it up. Look at this. Isn't this nifty? All right. So 10 ways to beat a zone. So let me go through these. Practice against it. I early in my career, this stuff really threw us for a loop because, I grew up in Wisconsin. I went away for school, but then came back, and it's such a Dick Bennett man-to-man, Bo Ryan, that so many people play man and not as many play zone that I didn't spend enough time in practice going against zones. So I would spend as much time as possible going through zones, working against zones, attacking zones, doing that kind of stuff. We can talk about practice breakdown and that kind of thing, but you gotta find a way to put it in there. All right, so that's number one. Number two is make shots and don't settle for threes. So if you think back to when we talked about the keys to winning basketball games, offensive efficiency is extremely important, and then getting to the foul line. And you don't get to the foul line as much when you shoot threes. So, obviously it's an integral part of this game. I've never been a huge fan of it, but it's definitely here to stay. But you can't settle for it. That's what they want you to do, and they're probably zoning you or if they're playing a non-pressuring zone, they're zoning you because you're not as good at shooting threes. Run a press, pressure them. You'll get turnovers, you'll get baskets before they can set the zone up. You'll get 3-on-2, 2-on-1s. You'll get an advantage on the offensive end if you pressure, and that will not allow them to set up their zone defense. So that's number three. Number four is rebound. Get second chance points. Go to the offensive glass. Zones don't tend to box out well. Kids, at least the younger kids, have a really hard time finding specific bodies. So really emphasize when you're working on your zone offense to crash the boards hard. Make sure someone's back, but make sure that you're really crashing the board. Number five, stall. Pull them out of it. Tied, if you're the underdog, pull them out. I mean, I have a story of me, this would have been 2005 when Wesley Matthews, who I'm going to name drop now, is playing for the Mavericks now. But when he was a senior in high school, we flew to St. Louis for a game, and we were playing one of our rivals, Middleton, and it was a back-to-back game. My guys were tired, jet lag, had slept in a hotel, whatever, and they were as good as us, and they ended up beating us later in the year in one of our few losses for the year. But I think we were up 2 with 7.5 minutes to go in the fourth quarter, and we just stood at half court. We literally stood at half court for 5 minutes. People booing. People came after me, and then we ended up making some free throws, scoring a couple buckets, game over. It's a great ace in the hole, especially if someone's just going to sag in, and if it's a close game and you're the underdog. 6, work on your transition, beat them down the floor. Zones have a real hard time from top of the key to top of the key. They really do. From transitioning from offense back to defense and setting up and finding your man. If you can beat them down the floor and get some easy baskets, tends to be an effective way. Attack the gaps. I think this is really important. You got to attack seams. So if I can show you here. So let's say I draw. Can I do it over here? I can. So let's say they're playing a 2-3. And forgive me here, I'm doing this with my mouse on the. But if they're running a 2-3 like this, and you want to attack seams in here, you'd really do. You want to attack seams and make them collapse, because that allows you to kick to the outside. And that goes into the next one, utilize pass fakes and moving the ball. Make the zone shift. If you make a zone shift from side to side, they don't tend to do it. And shot fakes and pass fakes make them shift, make them get off center, and that tends to work really well. I'm going to talk about 9 when I have my little diagram here. Attack short corners. So I'm a big fan of this area and this area, okay? And Wesley, again, name dropping, always said that there's this area. So the backboard's right here. There's this area in here that people tend to get lost in. It's called behind the board. So what we do is we throw a lot of flashers and use short corner and in and flash from behind, because they tend to lose them in those two areas. If you ever watch NBA games, short corner and behinds tend to get lost a lot. So I think those are all really important. And then screen the zone. I could throw it back up there, but I won't. Look for the skip and the seal. Look for, worst case scenarios. And I tell my youth coaches this especially. Don't feel bad about running your man offense and taking a little time and getting some screens and getting some movement, because it's not necessarily a bad thing to do that. So again, going through these real quick, 10 ways to beat a zone, generalizations, but I think good ones. Practice against it, make shots, It's always good. If you make shots, you win. Don't settle for threes. Run a press. Rebound, second chance points. Stall. Don't allow them to zone. Beat them down the floor. Attack the gaps. Utilize pass fakes and moving the ball. Attack from short corners and behind the backboard. So that little zone area, I can talk about that more if people want it. And then screen the zone. All of your zone offenses should entail, 2/3 or 3/4 of these, if not all of them. If you want them to be successful, obviously the stall is not going to be the case for, not everyone's going to stall. But, the majority of your zone offenses should entail or should encompass these things. And if they do, and if you can make shots, you're going to win a lot of games. So hopefully that helps you kind of start tweaking and start working toward setting up your zone offense. Thanks for listening.
Hey, everybody. I hope you're enjoying the podcast. Make sure you subscribe, like. We love those. And send me an email, steve@teachhoops.com. Tell me what you want to hear in the future. Also, go over and check out teachhoops.com for coaches who want to get better. Have a great day.
Close your eyes, exhale, feel your body relax, and let go of whatever you're carrying today.
Well, I'm letting go of the worry that I wouldn't get my new contacts in time for this class. I got them delivered free from 1-800-CONTACTS. Oh my gosh, they're so fast.
And breathe.
Oh, sorry. I almost couldn't breathe when I saw the discount they gave me on my first order. Oh, sorry. Namaste.
Visit 1-800-CONTACTS.com today to save on your first order.
1-800-CONTACTS. This episode is brought to you by ChatGPT. Hey, it's Bill Simmons from the Bill Simmons Podcast. Have you guys heard about ChatGPT work? It's the new way to use ChatGPT for bigger multi-step projects. And when you need more than just answers, give ChatGPT work access to your apps and files, and it can create real work documents like spreadsheets, slides, and structured reports. Get started at chatgpt.com by selecting work mode, available on Plus and Pro plans.